Hi, this is Brian Aldrich from 4th Street Software, and today I'm going to do a little introduction to the new 4th Street Hockey EZV game. EZV stands for Easy Version. There's also a version 3, which is V3, and that one is a little more complicated than this guy is. And with that in mind, we set out to make a game that can be played in about an hour. It takes about an hour and 15 minutes to play a full game with EZV, as opposed to quite a bit longer, probably double that, with the V3 game. Alright, now this is the a copy of the game board that you get included with the game. As you can see, the rink is laid out a little differently than it is in V3. It's set up for scoring areas rather than just regions. And it's got a couple of panels here to put forecheckers and non-forecheckers on the ice. Timer down here, same as the other one, except the increments for seconds are different. They're in 10-second allotments rather than, I believe it was 12. Without it right in front of me, I'm not sure. And then I've laid this out. Now you may say, wow, those cards are small. These are not the real sizes of everything. So what I've done is kind of reduce the sizes on these so that I can click on one and then go back to the home page after each time, just to make it a little easier. I would normally just set this up and show you using paper, but it's a little hard to zoom in on everything, so I thought it would be a lot easier just to do this electronically today. Alright, so what I have, I'm only going to use one line here. I just don't have that much time to set up 3 or 4 lines on this. And what I've got is the left wing up at the top. This is, by the way, the New England Whalers from 1972-73, so that's John French's card. And as we go down, this is player 1, so the left wing. Player 2 is the center. Player 3 is the right wing. Player 4 is the left defenseman. And player 5 is the right defenseman. Now, in reality, really all you need to know are the forwards and the defensemen. Normally, in normal seasons, you'll see that the centers, generally speaking, have a better face-off rating than most of the other players, but this is a really old season, and there weren't many stats taken for the WHA, so I've done the best I could with what I had to work with here. But what I've got is the Whalers against the Minnesota Fighting Saints, of course. So we have 2 different teams all set up here, and I just set up my forecheckers, all right here. And actually, I'm going to move them back. Now this is something you don't really need to do a whole lot of. Once you've set your strategy, you can keep the forecheckers there, and if you're playing solo, just know that at various times throughout the contest, they are automatically repositioned. But we'll do that for now, just so you can get the hang of it. And then down here I've got my dice. And the program I'm using is actually called Smart Notebook, and it's a little limited as to what I can do with this, so sorry about the corniness of the dice here. There are 4 dice in EZV. One of them is a 20-sider. The other 3 are D6s, so 6-siders. And the 20-sider is used mainly to check out the play card. Whoop, wrong card. Check out the play card here, because we need that in order to control what is going on here during the game. So what I'm going to do today is just kind of run through an example of how to play this game so you can get a little bit more familiar with it, see what you like, what you don't like, etc. And of course, at the beginning of the game, we need to have a face-off. So a little bit more about the rink here. The rink has been sectioned off into 10 scoring areas on each attacking zone, and the 3 center zones here in the neutral zone. Okay, so what I've referred to these as sections or sectors, and some of them are really low scoring areas, such as way out here by the blue line. These are gold sections. And there's 5 of them altogether. So the 3 up by the blue line, and then the 2 down deep, bad angle shots, can still go in, but it's just a little bit more difficult to have that happen. The blue regions are a little higher scoring area. So roughly speaking, if you say the gold areas are maybe a 5% chance, the blue areas are closer to 10. And then we have the primo scoring area here, the red zone right in front of the net, high scoring chance there. That's probably about a 15 or 20% chance of scoring. Of course, the object of the game is to get it into an area that you can conceivably score from. So the red zone is the prime spot to get that in there. Furthermore, each of the areas, so let's say that we have the red team, okay, they're on the left, and they're going in this direction. So they're defending the left-hand goal, trying to score in the right-hand goal. Their area in their own zone has been chopped up into 10 sections, as I said, and then it's been numbered as well. So that correlates to the D20. Okay, so if we got a 17 on a roll, that means the puck would travel out here. Okay, and it just depends on the situation. Okay, same with the neutral zone, except it's been sectioned into 1 to 7, 8 to 12, 13 to 20. So again, if I were to roll a 19, that means the puck is down here someplace. And then, of course, the blue team's zone, defensive zone, is also chopped into that section. Now, one other thing about this, and I have a better picture here so I can show you, is that when a team has the puck, the rink that they see differs a little bit from what it is on the previous slide. So right now, if the red team, which again is defending this zone, has the puck in their possession, then their defensive zone is just one great big gigantic zone. So in a pass situation, it doesn't matter where the puck is in this zone. So really, it doesn't make any difference if we have it down here in the gold region or just next to the blue line. As far as they're concerned, this is one area. And so a pass directly forward, say if the puck were up here in this corner, would simply go to the next section. Okay, so in the neutral zone. Once they get into their attacking zone, their offensive zone, then we have a different scenario. It's a little bit harder to move around because the ice becomes more congested. Likewise, if the blue team had the puck, they would see the rink in this manner. Okay, so that's something you need to know up front so that we can kind of play through this rather easily. All right, so as I said, this is the red team, and this is the blue team. And I've got a couple of pawns here, because I need to bring that up in front. Pawns here to identify those players a little bit more easily. And they are the ones involved in the matchups. Okay, so this is based on a matchup system, just as all 4-3 games are. But it's a little bit more elementary than the V3 game is. All right, so we have a face-off at center ice here, and what I've got is the two centers that are going to take the face-off. Now, the timing mechanism on this is very straightforward. Every time you roll the dice, the pawn moves 10 seconds. Okay, so we take 10 seconds off the clock. And if you have a little problem with that philosophically, think of this. It's not, the purpose of 4-3 games is not to take a look at every single solitary touch on the ice. If that were the case, you would need literally a day to play a game. This is kind of what happens from one point in time to 10 seconds later kind of thing. Okay, and 10 seconds is an average. You know, some of these plays might take 1 second, some of them might take 15 or 20. It just depends upon the situation. All right, so we've got the puck at center ice. We're going to go ahead and roll the dice. And as you can see on the dice, I've got 4 different ones here. We talked about those before. The colors are indicative of many things. The D20 is used only in certain situations, not on every play, but for certain things. The black die is a player identifier. So I rattled off before, this is player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4, player 5. There is no player 6 because we don't have an attacker on the ice. So the goalie doesn't receive his own number, his own identification number. The black die identifies them. So if I were to roll a 2, a black 2, that is referring to the second player or the center. And it could be for either team or both teams. Okay, so the matchups are dictated by that number largely. All right. The others are red and blue, and they kind of go along with the teams. So the red die controls the ratings for the red team. Likewise, the blue die controls the blue team. All right, so let's get started, and I think you'll find that it's a pretty straightforward game to play for the most part. And if you find that you're having a little bit of trouble, there are some cards with details on them. So it goes through exactly what's happening for each type of play. All right, so we're going to roll the dice. Here we go. So we got a D20, 12. And this is a face-off, so what that means is that's where the puck ends up being inside the zone that you're at. So again, we have one team's defensive zone, the neutral zone, and then over here is that team's attacking zone, or vice versa, depending upon who has possession of the puck. A 12 would indicate that it's going to be inside the neutral zone here in the central sector. Okay, the next thing is we have a 4 and a 5. Now ordinarily what that means is that 5 beats 4. So the red team has won the draw, and player 6 gains possession of the dice. The only problem is that we don't have a player 6 on the ice right now. There is no extra attacker. And so this results in a loose puck, and I need to take off 10 seconds off the clock. So now we'll go ahead and roll the dice again. Okay, this time the red team won again with a 5 over a 2, and the puck has been recovered by player 1 in zone 16, so down here next to the boards. Take off 10 seconds, and we're ready for the next play. Okay, now there is a set of 6 play cards. They look like this. There's 3 even strength, 2 power play, and 1 penalty kill play. They're used by the team with possession of the puck at all times, and they control what's going to happen, the puck action, as it says down here at the bottom. So in 4th Street EZV, there are 4 different puck actions that you need to watch out for. So there's an advance, a dump and clear, dump or clear, offsides, icing, and then shoot. So that's basically all that we have there as far as that is concerned. Now this is the normal play card. There's also a dump and chase, so that the ranges differ over here on the left-hand side a little bit. And then there's another one that I just call bring it in. So basically a skate with the possibilities of dumps and clears being eliminated a little bit more. All right, so let's go back here. We need to re-roll the dice. And of course, every time we re-roll the dice, we take off 10 seconds off our timer. Now, we started at 40 seconds, so we haven't run the clock down to 30 seconds yet. The play is still happening at 40 seconds here. So let's go ahead and see what this says. Now I got a D20 16, which means that I'm going to clear the puck because, I'm sorry, we're in the neutral zone. So I'm going to dump the puck in, and on a dump or a clear, the puck just travels straight ahead. So as you can see down at the bottom, it's going to end up in sector gold, DR, gold deep right, in other words. Okay, so the puck is down here, And then I take a gander at the other dice. So first of all, we take a look at the black die. Players 3 are involved. Which one? Well, both of them. Okay, so those two have been identified. And then I look at the red and blue dice. Red beats blue, so that means that the red player has control of the puck. Red player 3 has control of the puck. All right, so now we're ready for the next puck action. Roll the dice. And then I'm going to take a look at my play card. We're now in the attacking or the offensive zone. And as you can see all the way down here, it says shoot or advance. It's one or the other. And this is where the skater cards come into play here. The first time we're going to see that. So I've got the D20 is less than or equal to the skater's shooting rating. We have a shot attempt. Otherwise, we're going to try and advance. So I need to look at my skater, who's Tom Webster. He's my right winger. And his shoot rating is up here in this section of his card. You can see there's an advance section, a defense section, a breakaway section, and a shoot section. His shoot rating is 18. So if that D20 roll is less than or equal to 18, which it is, then Webster is going to try to fire a shot here. Okay, so here we go. First of all, we had a dice roll of 1 for blue and 6 for red. So let's look at that. And so what we do is we find the 1 blue 1 rather, and go down to the red 6, cross-reference, and you can see there's a yellow square there. That's the shot quality. So this shot has been taken from the gold section down here on the ice, and the quality of it is gold, which is not very good, actually. It's a poorly shot, I guess you could say. All right, now one other thing. We have player 3 involved in the matchup. He is a potential shot blocker. Now, this doesn't happen as frequently in EZV as it does as in V3. And if I look up Wayne Connolly's block rating up here, I can see that it's a 0. So that means he has no chance right now of blocking this shot. So the shot goes through, and we re-roll the dice to see if he scores. By the way, got to move the timer again. Okay, so there's my roll. And we move the timer again because we just rolled the dice again. Again, it wouldn't necessarily take 20 seconds to take a shot, but it's an average of what's going on. Okay, we look at the home team, the Minnesota Fighting Saints goalie then. Okay, and that's Mike Curran. And on his card, we look up a 45. So, blue 4 and a red 5. We're going to look in the appropriate section. So we have a red section, a blue section, a gold section, and a rebound section. Now, the red, blue, gold doesn't refer to the shot quality. It refers to the area of the ice that this is on. So if you look at Curran, as I mentioned before, red is the primo area here for getting a shot off. There are many more red squares in his red section because they are the highest scoring items on a card. So this shot was taken from the gold section. The shot quality was also gold. And then we had a 45 for our dice roll. Okay, so 4 down 5, and you can see it's a white zone. Okay, so the color doesn't match. The only way this shot would have scored has had I rolled a 33. Okay. All right, so first of all, saved by Curran. Second of all, 45. Now, it's going to be a rebound of some sort, so we go straight away to the rebound. We don't need to re-roll for this. 45 is a Z, which means the puck has been frozen. All right, so I'm going to take the puck. I'm going to move it right here because that's the closest from where it was shot. And we'll put our centers back as the men of the hour here. One thing I neglected to look at before were the face-off ratings of the two players. I already knew what they were, that's why I ignored them. Caffery is a 2 for his face-off rating, and Ted Hampson is also a 2. So basically they cancel each other out. All right, so let's go ahead and roll the dice. We have an offensive zone draw here for the New England Whalers, and this is what I ended up getting. Okay, first of all, the 8 tells me that this puck is recovered in zone 8. That's up here. Secondly, players 3 are the ones involved in possibly gaining possession of the puck. And blue this time beats red, so that means that Mr. Connolly, the man of the hour here so far, has possession of the puck. We take off 10 seconds and re-roll the dice. Look at my play card, and I rolled a 7 for my D20. We're in the defensive zone now, and so we're going to advance the puck. All right, so first of all, in order to advance it, there is a possibility of a matchup here that we have to take a look at. So the blue team has just taken possession of the puck in their own zone, and that means that the red team is now allowed to place forecheckers. We're going to put players 1 and 2 down deep. They need to stay there until one of two things happens. Either possession of the puck is surrendered by the team that currently has it, or there's a shot that takes place, one or the other. Otherwise, these two are going to stay down here in this zone for the purpose of this game until something else happens. Okay, players 3, 4, and 5, so this time my right wing, my left defenseman, and right defenseman, they're going to stay in this area, so the defensive / neutral zone. So they can defend anything that's in the neutral zone or their defensive zone. They just can't defend anything down deep in their attacking zone. Likewise, but differently, I guess, players 1 and 2 defend only items that are down here, and they can't defend anything in the neutral or their defensive zones until one of those two conditions takes place. All right, so now let's see what happens here. We've got Connolly with the puck. I rolled a 5, which means that the right defenseman, player number 5, would be involved in this matchup, but he's not here. So he's down deep. So this time, Connolly has free reign here. We just call that unopposed. So he will be able to advance the puck unopposed. All right, now, had I rolled something else, maybe if I had rolled a 2 instead, then the center, this guy, would be involved in the matchup instead. He is in this zone, and so his defensive rating would be in question. Now, either way, the point is moot because I rolled a 5 for the blue and a 1 for the red. So even if that had been the case, Connolly would still win the matchup, and we would read the result off from his card. Okay, we re-roll the dice again then. There we have it, and I rolled a blue and red 62. So let's look here. We'll go to Connolly's advanced column. 62 is a red arrow. All right, red arrow. The arrow itself means that there is a pass. It's a solid arrow as opposed to an open one. Open means the straight skate. Okay, so he just skates ahead. In this case, we have a pass that goes straight ahead into the next zone. Okay, so remember, this is the vantage point. This entire area, this defensive zone, is one area for the puck possession team right now. Okay, and the pass was to player 1. Okay, but we also had a red come up. Okay, all All right, red means that if I have one forechecker in the zone, there will be a breakaway. Well, we don't have one. We actually have two forecheckers, and so that parameter doesn't match here this time. So the puck goes straight ahead, and now is owned by Mel Pearson at that zone. Okay, we need to take off 10 seconds off the clock. We're now to 18 minutes, 50 seconds. Roll the dice. Okay, we get a D26. So let's check out what our play is. We're now in the neutral zone. It's an advance again. All right, next item. The matchup will be with player number 5. Well, player number 5 is in this area. And so we'll put our pawn over him just to mark him as a reminder. And I have a 1 and a 1, which means there's a tie between their two abilities. All right, now in the basic game here, if you want to just play it that way, anytime there's a tie, it's won by the offense. So kind of a tie goes to the runner thing like it is in baseball. If we were playing with more advanced rules, we would add the advance rating to the blue team and the defense rating to the red team, and then whoever won that would automatically win. So in this case, that would turn this would stay a 1, and this would turn into a 3. We're just going to go basic right now today, just so that I can kind of show you how everything works mechanically. And then I need to re-roll the dice. Okay, so the matchup then we're going to say was won by Pearson. I rolled a 56. So I take a look at him. 56 is another red arrow. Okay, well, we already know that there's 2 forecheckers instead of 1. So this just turns into a black straight ahead arrow then. So it goes ahead 1 sector. Okay, so this is 1 sector, 2 sectors, 3 sectors. So it goes ahead 1 sector. And we rolled a player 1. Well, player 1 already had it. He's passing, and he's not going to pass to himself. So what we do is we take a look at something called a recipient rating. Every player has one of these, and it's just a measure basically of how frequently they shot, so how frequently they kind of handled the puck. Hampson's a 12. Okay, Connolly's a 15, and defensemen are usually very low on this bar. So Connolly has the highest recipient rating, and therefore the pass is to Connolly. All right, another play was taken off, so we move the die, or the timer rather. I go ahead and roll the dice, and I rolled a 4, so I'm going to check out my play here. We're now in the offensive zone, and as you can see, it's a shoot or advance. We look back at Connolly's card. He has a shoot rating of 17. 4 is definitely less than that, and so this is a shot attempt. Okay, we rolled a blue 62. Okay, 62, so in the shot section, here's a blue 6, here's the red 2. We've rolled a red. Okay, that is the highest chance of scoring there as far as a shot quality goes. But he's so far away, he's back here by the blue line, that it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to go into the net. We won't know until we find out. So let's move the timer, roll the dice again, and before I forget, I'm going to move the timer one more time. I rolled a 15, and again, I was shooting in the gold section. So 1-5 is right here. That's a white. By the way, I said if it matches, it's a goal. White is not included in that. So a white shot is a terrible shot that never will go in. All right, so 1-5. It did not score. So now we go directly over here to the rebound section. 1-5 is gray. If the opponent was on the power play, then they would recover the puck automatically. If not, all white and gray squares are recovered by this fella's teammates. Okay, which teammate? Well, let's see. We rolled a 4, so the left defenseman. So he has possession of the puck, and the rebound came out to the 8. Okay, so right over here in the left blue section. All right, let's roll the dice again. We have a 16. Take off 10 seconds. Check it out. We're in the defensive zone. I rolled a 16. That's a clear. So a clear attempt, first of all, goes straight out to the neutral zone. Second of all, it's won by whoever wins the match up here. So I rolled a blue 3, and that beats the red 1. And player number 5 is the one who recovers the puck. So they have the puck again. Now, by the way, the shot was taken here earlier by Conley. That means that my forecheckers have moved back into their defensive zone. So they are now available to participate on any matchup that may come up. All right, let's go ahead and roll the dice again. Okay, we got a 16 here. So we're in the neutral zone. He's going to dump the puck in. So a dump also goes straight ahead all the way against the back wall. It is recovered by one of the player 1s. So let's just move our pawns here over players 1. And it's recovered by the blue team because blue beats red on our 2 dice. So that means that Mel Pearson now has possession of the puck down deep. Okie dokie. Roll the dice. I forgot to take 10 seconds off, I think. And that's what I get. Okay, we look at our play card. We're in the offensive zone now. Shooter advance. You kind of get the idea here. Whenever you're in the offensive zone, unless you're on the penalty kill, you're probably going to be shooting. So Pearson is a 15 for his shot rating. So he is going to shoot. And player 6 could potentially be a shot blocker, but that does not identify anybody on the ice right now. We don't have an extra attacker. And we rolled a 23. So in the shot section, here we go. 23 is blue. So the shot quality is blue, which is decent. Okay, now roll the dice again. Take 10 seconds off. And check out the goalie. I rolled a 1-2. So 1-2, and we were shooting from the gold section again. We haven't had very high quality shots so far. Whoop, wrong guy. There we go. So we're in the gold section. 1-2. Had this been a good quality shot, it would have scored. As it is, it does not. So we go over to the rebound section. 1-2 is recovered by this guy's teammates, and it's recovered by player number 4 in zone 1. Zone 1 is still over here in the corner. So it was a rebound that bounced straight back to where this guy is, and now we're ready for another dice roll. Take 10 seconds off the clock. 13 going down here, that's an advance. And so Jim Dory will try to advance the puck here. Since the puck is in deep, we're going to place a couple of forecheckers. I'm going to put numbers 1 and 3 down here. I can use any forwards I want. And if I want, I could put all 3 of them down here. Actually, let's do that just for fun. And we'll leave my defenseman to cover the rest of the ice, just to see what happens. Now, this is a high risk, high reward type of thing. If I wanted to, I could pull my forecheckers, maybe just leave 1, or maybe take all of them out. And that would be a low risk, low reward type deal. We're trying to create turnovers though, so let's see if we can do that here with this one. Okay, so we have an advance. The player identified is player 2, so he's my defender, and he is present down deep here inside the defensive zone. I rolled a 66, which is a tie, and that means that Dory has won the matchup. So, he's going to move it, but we don't know how far. So we roll the dice again, and this time we look directly at Dory's card at a 32, and we're looking in his advanced section. 32 is this funny looking arrow. What that means is that he goes straight ahead 2 zones. Okay, so here's zone 1, here's zone 2, or sector 2 rather. So he's now in the gold section, and we re-roll the dice. Oh, by the way, I rolled the dice for that second part here. Now we have it. Okay, I got a 5, and in the offensive zone, we're going to shoot. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Dory has a 13 for a shot rating. And we look at 66. If this was Zappa, that would be something, but it's not. Alright, so we look at 66 on Dory. In his shot section is white. Very poor quality shot. It's not going to be in, but we need to find out whether or not a save was made. So we popped off another 10 seconds, and now we do another 10 for the look up. And I don't even need to look in here. If I want to, I can, but it's white. But no matter what color I had rolled, it would not have scored. Okay, white shots do not score. And then I look down at my rebound section. This is recovered by Curran's teammates, so the Saints. Player 1 in zone 7, which is up here. So we had a shot, it was saved, and now the puck has returned out to 7. Alright, roll the dice. Move the timer. We got a 15 on the play card. That's a clear. Move it straight out to the neutral zone. 5 beats 2, so that means blue team wins. Player number 2 recovers the puck. Roll the dice. Move the timer. Okay, we got a 9. Neutral zone, that's an advance. So he's going to either pass or skate. We got a 43, which means blue team wins against player number 5, who is available to play here. Oh, I forgot to move my 4 checkers, so all of them were available, I guess, at this point. Okay, so he wins. Hampson won the matchup. Roll the dice again. Move the clock. I rolled a 44. Advanced section 44. A right pointing arrow. Okay, so we're already as far right as we can get, so that means we simply move ahead 1 slot. Roll the dice. Move the clock. Okay, this time I got a 20. We're in the offensive zone, shooter advance. However, Hampson's shot rating is a 16, so a 20 beats that. So instead of shooting, he's going to use his advanced section. Okay, 56. He loses the matchup, however, to player number 2, since the red die is higher. So we're going to read our next result off from Terry Caffrey, who is my center. Alright, so we're going to roll the dice, move the clock, and this time I'm going to look at my defender instead of the offensive player to find the result. I rolled a 14. So 14, here's the defensive section. Go over 1 for the blue, down 4. And this open circle means it's a loose puck. So he has probably used his stick, done a stick check or something to make a loose puck. And we'll go ahead and roll the dice then to find out who wins the loose puck. Loose pucks are very easy to resolve. First of all, 13 tells you where the puck is. So 13 is right there. it is recovered by one of the players' 3, so the right wingers. And let's see, red beats blue, so that means that the red player now has possession of the puck. Okay, they've taken possession in this area of the ice. I'm going to pull back one of my forecheckers at this point, so I just have 2 forecheckers in the attacking zone. And we'll go ahead and start another play. Okay, 14 is an advance from the defensive section. So he's either going to try to skate or pass. Okay, he wins the matchup against player 2. So the forechecker did come up, but this time the offensive player beat him. Okay, we roll the dice again to find out the result. Move the die, or the time. And I rolled a 1-2 on the advance. 1-2. It's a backwards pointing arrow. Okay, these arrows all have their own little deal. But basically, a back to the point thing, if we're in the defensive zone, you wouldn't move it backwards. We're going to move it straight ahead by 1 sector. So, into the neutral zone. And that is a pass to player 2. So now, Terry Caffery has possession of the puck. Alright, go ahead and roll the dice. Move the timer. You can see this clips along pretty quick. Okay, we rolled a D21. And we've got an advance in the neutral zone here. So, let's see. We look at the 2, and this time the blue player won it if he's available. It's number 3. And number 3 was moved back into this area. So, the result will come on his card. Roll the dice, move the clock, and check out him. Whoop, I forgot to look here. It's a 26. So, Connolly, 26, is another loose puck. So the puck is loose. We resolve the loose puck. 8. Puck is recovered at center ice. 4 by one of the 2 player 4s, so the left defenseman. And a 2 red beats a 1 blue. So that means the red guy has possession of the puck, who is Jim Dory. All right, now, he lost possession of the puck, at least momentarily, so he doesn't maintain continuous control of the puck, and therefore the forecheckers have been released now and can go back into the neutral or defensive zones. Roll the dice. Move the clock. Roll to 15, and we're in the neutral zone. That would be a dump. So it dumps down all the way to the back wall. That's where it ends up. The blue team wins control, but player 6 is not on the ice. So that means this is a loose puck, and we roll again. Okay, it's recovered in zone 10 right out in front of the net. It is player 4 against 4, but they tied, and so therefore the loose puck has not yet been resolved. So we'll roll again. Move the clock. Okay, this time it was recovered behind the net, zone 3, or sector 3, again by players 4. And this time the red guy wins. And so Jim Dory has control of the puck. Roll the dice. Move the clock. We rolled a 7. 7 is a shot or an advance. Dory's shot rating is 13, so he does shoot. 65 is what he shoots. 65 is white. So this one is not going into the net. Okay, my goalie got a 21. 21, and this is from a blue section, so I read it off here. 21 is red. So if it had been a better shot, it would have scored. but it isn't. 21 down here is on the rebound is a black square. Black means that the bad guys have won it. So the opponents have won the puck, and that means the red guys have control of the puck in zone 8, and player number 1 has it. Okay, roll the dice. Let's see what happens. Okay, by now you can probably figure out we're going to shoot. 3 is an awfully low number. The minimum shooting rating is 10, and that is very rare. So John French is going to fire away here. He gets a 36. 36 is yellow or gold. So the shot quality is gold. Player number 3 could potentially have blocked that, but his block rating is 0, so he doesn't. Roll the dice. Move the clock. And we'll take a look. We're shooting from the blue section, and we got a gold reading. So blue section, gold reading, and it's a 24. That's white, so it does not score. Look down below, and we have a Z, so it's a frozen puck. So we're going to have a face-off right there. Player 2 against player 2. Go ahead and roll all 4 dice. Okie dokie, there we have it. 13 is where the puck ends up. Player 1 has possession of it. We don't know which one yet. And then red beats blue, so the red team has possession of the puck. Roll the dice again. 20. He is going to advance the puck because that exceeds his shot rating. So we have to look to see if he won the matchup. He does. Even if these two numbers had been swapped and the blue number was higher than the red, he still would have won because player 6 is not on the ice. There is no extra attacker. So he's unopposed. Okay, we roll again to find out what the outcome is. And we get a 41. All right, so we look in the advanced section. 41 is an open arrow. That means he skates ahead 1 zone. Okay, player 5 could conceivably block this. So let's take a look here. His block rating is a 1, so not quite. It had both the blue and the red dice been less than or equal to that number, the shot would have been blocked. That wasn't the case, so the shot goes through. And now we look at 33 on his card. 33 is a blue. Okay, and he's shooting from a red zone. So now we go ahead and roll the dice again and check out the goalie. 61 from the red zone is red. So that does not score. However, the rebound goes directly to an opposing player. Which opposing player? Player 4. In zone 6 or sector 6. Sector 6 is down here in the corner. Roll the dice. I think I forgot to move it once there, or maybe twice. Okay, and we can see 14 is another shot attempt. However, he doesn't have a high enough shot rating, so he's going to try to advance the puck instead. He loses the matchup with player 5, so I re-roll the dice to find out what the result is. We have a 1-5 on the defense, and we have a penalty. All right. Now, in easy V, you simply stop the play that's going on and check out what the penalty is instead. Here's the penalty. And And we need to go ahead and roll the 2 dice to first of all find out who the penalty is on. I rolled a 25, and in the basic game here, I just go ahead and cross-reference that, and it says the penalty is on the red team. Okay, if I was playing a more, advanced role here, Jim Dory was the one in possession of the puck. He has a penalty rating of 1, and Terry Ball has a penalty rating of 0. So if I go back here, the blue team would add a 0 to their die, and the red team would add a 1 to theirs. So I'd have a 26 instead of a 25. Still would be on the red team. Okay, I re-roll the dice again to find out how long the penalty is for. I got a 63. 63 is right there. It's a 2-minute penalty. Okay, so let's handle that. You may have noticed there's a couple other little markers down here. That was on the red team, so it's on Dory. So first of all, I'm going to take Dory's token and put him in the penalty box over the 2 mark. And then the penalty occurred right here on this second mark. So every time this marker passes by that section, I'm going to move Dory down a notch until he's out of the penalty box. All right, we're going to move the puck down here. And Mr. Dory, I'm just going to slide him over here a little bit, is in the penalty box. So he's not on the ice right now, and that gives a decided advantage to the offense. Okay, let's go ahead and have a face-off then. And again, I'm not doing any line changes today simply because of lack of space here. But we go ahead and roll the dice, and I've got this all set up. First of all, the puck was recovered in Sector 11, which is right here. It was recovered by one of the player 5s, and both player 5s are on the ice. Had I rolled a 4, the blue team would automatically win it because player 4 is in the penalty box right now. Secondly, the blue team has another advantage. They add 1 to their die because they're on the power play. So instead of this being a 45 where the red team would have won, it's a 55 instead. So instead of the red team winning possession of the puck, it is a loose puck instead. So we roll the dice, and the power play team has a definite advantage on this too for some other reasons, but I need to move the timer over 2 spots. We had a face-off followed by a loose puck. It's still in zone 11. Players 2 are the ones involved in the loose puck, and red clearly beats blue this time, so that means that this guy has possession of the puck. We now need to use a different card to figure out what's going to happen on this play. We rolled an 11. Player 2 has it in his defensive zone. So here is the penalty kill card. And we rolled an 11, he's going to ice the puck. So the puck goes all the way down the rink and stays straight ahead against the back wall. All right, it automatically is taken over there by the opposing team, and you give that to the center. Since the puck is down here, the red team needs to choose what they have as far as forecheckers are concerned. So I'm just going to use one forechecker. I'm going to put player number 2 down there. Okay, without looking at his cards, let's say that he has a higher penalty kill rating. The PK rating, by the way, is right there. Now in the basic game, you don't use that, so we don't really have to inspect it at all. All right, so we got that. And I can't remember if I rolled the dice, so I'll roll them again here. Move the timer, and then I'm going to check out the card for the power play. Okay, so we got a D20 of 5. I look at the power play card. He's in the defensive zone, and he's going to attempt to advance the puck. Okay, so we have an advance. He wins the matchup, and player one actually could have been a forechecker, but he's not even in the zone, so this was unopposed. And now I go ahead and, now that I know who won the matchup, I go ahead and roll the die. I got a 64 in the advanced section. 64 is red. Okay, now you may have remembered I previously mentioned that if I have a red, that's a breakaway if there's one forechecker on the ice at this time. There is one forechecker on the ice, so this puck will move directly right in front of the net, and it was a pass to player number 4, which is a little uncommon. But that means that John Arbor has control of the puck, and he is on a breakaway. Roll the dice. There is no possibility of a defensive player breaking in on this. So this is going to be a shot. I got a 54. 54 breakaway, and he missed the net entirely. So that's why defensemen don't get on breakaways too often, I suppose. Had to move the dice there. We still need to see what happens to the puck following that. Okay, I just reached this section, which means the penalty box guy goes down by 1 minute. And now I go ahead and look at 56 on the goalie. 56, we're in the red section. 56, ooh, if it had been even a terrible shot, it would have gone in, but it didn't. Okay, the rebound section, 56 is gray. That means that the team on the power play has recovered the puck. Which player? Player number 2. So he follows up, and maybe he'll take a shot of his own. The puck is now in zone 7, so it rebounded over here. Go ahead and roll the dice. Move the timer, and I'll check out the card. I get a D27. So in the offensive zone, that is a shot. He has a 16 shot rating and actually jumps to 17 because they have a one-man advantage. And I rolled a 45. 45 is gold. By the way, you may notice these green guys down here. On a power play, a green turns into red. So that makes it more likely to score a power play goal. One of the many reasons why it's more likely. Okay, 45 is gold. And now I re-roll the dice. Player 3 could have potentially blocked the shot, but this is way higher than any block ratings there are. 3 is the absolute maximum. Okay, roll all the dice, and I got a 1-1. So let's check him out. We're in a blue section. 1-1 is red. Not a goal. I needed to get a 65 to do that. 1-1 is black, which means the opponents have recovered the puck. So that means the blue team has recovered the puck. Got to move the timer here. In zone 14, so straight out in front of the goal. A little deep though. And player 6. Well, there is no player 6, so we have a loose puck scenario again. So re-roll the dice and move the timer. Player 6 recovers. Again, there is no player 6, so we have an LP. They're trying to kill off the penalty. Timer moves 1 slot. Player 3 this time. Okay, there's player 3. 52, blue wins, so this guy has it in zone 11, which is over here in the corner. Roll the dice, move the timer. The penalty is almost over. And Conley has possession of the puck. We rolled a 13, which, as you can guess, is going to be a shot. There it is. 34 on his card. 34 is blue. And it could have potentially been blocked, but again, the rating isn't good enough. So we'll go ahead and roll and see what happens here on that. He was in the blue section. He shot a blue quality shot. 13 is what I rolled here. Ooh, it just missed. So no goal, it's a save, and this one is recovered by Smith's teammates. Player 6. Oh, player 6 is not on the ice, so the puck is loose. Okay, now I moved the timer. We can move this guy down, but he can't go on the ice until after this play. So they're still under the power play here. Okay, red wins the match. Red wins the puck. Player 2 is the one with possession. And now we're ready to go ahead and start the next play. This goes down. The penalty is over. Player 4 goes back on the ice. We rolled an 11. We use the normal, card. There it is at even strength. And that's an advance attempt. Let's slide our penalized guy back into the slot here, the lineup. Okay, so I got a 2. That's going to be an advance. And we rolled a 43. Okay, so the defensive player, if he were able to, is going to try to block that. Let's say that I have 2 forecheckers. And player 5 is not among them. So therefore, this is an unopposed deal. So we'll go ahead and roll again to find out the result. Move the timer. And I got a 51 on the advance. 51 is that funny looking symbol right there, which is a centering pass. So, pass goes to the middle of the rink, 1 zone ahead. And it was received by player 6. Well, player 6 isn't on the ice, but this is a little different situation. He won the matchup. So 6 indicates that it's to anybody you want to throw to. Typically or pass to. Typically that would be the guy with the highest recipient rating. So let's check those out. French has a 16. This guy passed, so we can ignore him. He has an 18, so Webster's a little higher. Then, as I discussed before, the recipient values for defensemen are very low typically. So that means Webster will receive the puck. So Webster has possession of the puck. We go ahead, roll again, and move the time. And this time we got a 12 here. Yeah, somehow my power play card keeps popping up there. Okay, I got a 12 there in the neutral zone, and that is an advance. So we're going to try to advance the puck. 22, so it's a tie. That means the offensive player wins automatically. Tie goes to the offense. And now I go ahead and find out what the result is. I rolled a 52. Move the timer. 52, that is a centering pass. So we have another centering pass, 1 forward up to player number 3. Well, he is number 3. So again, the recipient values, 16 for French, 18 for Caffrey. So this one's going to go to Caffrey. Roll the dice. And let's see, I've got a 7. So that, since we're in the attacking zone, is going to be a shot by Caffrey. 52 is what I have on him. 52 is red. So this is a high quality shot. but it's back pretty far. Okay, we're going to move the timer here, and then I'm going to go ahead and roll the dice. Alright, there's my dice roll. I'm shooting from a gold section. I got a red shot quality. Here's my player, gold section. I rolled a 22, which is red. That is a goal. Scores! Alright. And so the Whalers take a 1-0 lead. And now we have a face-off at center ice.